Alright, so in this video I'm gonna do my oil change, flush my coolant, and I'm gonna replace the frame sliders. You're probably gonna need a bike stand. Got this one for 40 bucks. I'll put the link on the description of where I got it. Got my frame sliders. Got some tread locks so they don't fall off. Because my last one fell off, that's why I'm putting new ones. Got my oil filter, which was like 12 bucks. I got a little thing for the oil filter that's adjustable. Never used it before, so we'll see how that goes. Got my oil. I think you need about 2 1/4 to fill it up, and 3/4, sorry. And this is the type I got. It's Yamalube 1040. If you live in a hot city, you probably want to use 1030. 4-stroke. I heard good things about this. Is engine ice. This was $22.95. If you live in a hot city, again, it'll run your engine about 10 degrees lower. And distilled water to flush the radiator. And I'm also gonna lube my chain. Alright. Oh, and you're gonna need some Allen wrenches to take this bolts off. Here I have a 4mm, and I'm gonna use this one for the drill, which is a 5/32. It's about the same size, so it's faster to take off. Also forgot to mention I got a gasket for the drain plug. That's about almost 3 bucks. So let's start by taking off the frames. Start with this piece. By the way, this is the first time I do this, so probably make a few mistakes. Okay. Let's see. Look, 1 second. In addition to taking these guys off, there's also some plastic little things that you have to pop out. All you do is push it in, and it should just come out, and they look like this. So there's one there, and let's see if there's another one anywhere else. Oh, that's it. So here, this part's off. By the way, this is a 07 R6. Alright, so now let's take this part off. So there's going to be right here. There's another one down here in front. I'm gonna need the wrench for that one. There's another one in here. Let me get to it. Here we go. Oh my god. Okay, there it goes. Another one back here. And there's gonna be another one down here, so one in the front and one in the back. I'll continue the video after I take this off. Okay, so I took off 5 of these guys for this frame, for this part of the frame. There's one here, one in the front, one in the back. There's one down here, one down here, and then this black part is actually part of this too. So you just gotta take off one of those plastic things, just pop it in, and it should just come out. Just put the kickstand up so it's not in the way. So on mine, oh, and there's one more of those black things back here inside as well. that out. Now the only thing that's holding it together is this, the turn signal. So since I don't have any of these zip ties, I'm just gonna put my frame up and just get it out of the way. All right. So next, the oil filter's right here. So it looks like we're gonna have to take this bolt off, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you gotta remove this shifter. To take that off, you're gonna need a 6mm to take this part off. I'm also gonna take this cover to see just to clean up the chain in there and see if there's any rocks and stuff. And then we're gonna need to take off these 2 screws to take this part out, so you can get to the filter better. And for that, you're gonna need a 8mm. Okay, so let's do that. Start with this one. That's pretty tight on there. Alright. So some people like to take this part off, but I'm gonna try to avoid taking this off and see if I can get the cover off without taking this bolt off. But in case you do want to take it off, there is a line there on the inside part, and there's a little dot, so you want to make sure that line aligns with the dot. So if you have it in neutral, when you put it back on, it'll be in neutral again. Alright, so I'm going to take this part off now. Okay, so now this should just slide out. You gotta push it in. And now it slides out. You wanna take off these hoses out as well. Alright, so now that's out. Be careful because there's some spacers in there that will fall out. Alright, so let's take this out. Alright, so now we have the oil filter free. And I'm going to take this part off now. Okay, so I just finished taking these screws off this cap. There's 2 up here and 1 down here. They're kind of a pain, so if you don't want to take this off, you don't have to for the oil change. But like you see, it's pretty dirty, so I'm gonna clean that up. So now you have room to take off the filter and the drain plugs down here. You're gonna need a 17mm. But before I do that, I'm gonna take off the fuel cap on the other side, so it drains a lot faster. Alright, so just wanted to show you guys real quick where the fuel cap is, in case you don't know. That's it right there. And I'm going to take the dipstick out as well. Okay, so I just loosened the drain plug. Before that, I put some newspapers and covered the exhaust so you don't get oil all over your exhaust. So I'm gonna drain it first. And that's why I put gloves on, because that will happen. And yeah, it looks like I needed to change it already. And as that is draining, I'm gonna loosen up the filter as well. I tried using that little claw that I bought, but it's not small enough, so I guess I'm doing it by hand. You see how all that oil would have got on the exhaust, so it's good to put some newspaper in there. Okay, and I'll be back after this is done draining. Okay, so as the oil was draining, I noticed that this plastic thing that was in here came off, and look at all the dirt I got off of it. So I just used a toothbrush, screwdriver to get it off because it was really on there. And I used this barbecue grill cleaner that I found at home, and it worked fine. Now it's way cleaner. And the way this was in there was like this. So this part that's loops like that goes on the top, and that just came right out. So I just want to make sure that it's in those where the bolts go, and it's in there and it's clean now. So now that this is done draining, I'm gonna put the drain plug back in with the new gasket. And the oil filter that I got came with a little film on top. Usually when I do my car oil change, I put a little bit of oil and I put it on top so it's easier to take off later, but it looks like this one already came with grease on it, so you don't have to do that. Put that on. Oops. And you don't want to use one of those, like one of these things to tighten this up. You just want to do it by hand. You don't want to put it on there too tight. Then I'll tighten this up in a minute. And then since I have all this off, I'm gonna grease my chain as well. This is the stuff I use. And you want to do this like every 300 or 500 miles. So I just added 2.5 quarts of Yamalube 1040. Want to make sure you have a funnel so you don't get it everywhere. Put the dipstick back in. I'm gonna put the cap back on. Oh. Before I do that, clean it up. There's a little bit of oil in there. I'm gonna put it back on. Then I'm gonna start the bike and run it so the oil goes in the filter, and then I'm gonna check the level. It should, by the book, it should take 2 3/4 of this stuff. So I'll start it now. Just run it for like 30 seconds or something. Okay, so I oiled the change. I put 2 quarts and 3/4, and it's full now. So now we're gonna put everything back in. Again, be careful with the spacers. This one just fell out. Put those back in. Put that in there, and just the same way you took it off. Back in that hole. Put this in here. I'll put this drain hoses back in. Put the cap back on. And after I'm done with this, and after I tighten this up, I'm gonna go to the other side and do the radiator, the coolant flush, and then put this shifter back in there too. Okay, so now I'm on the right side. I'm gonna take this side off, the bottom frame, the mid, and then to get to the radiator cap, looks like I gotta take this top part off as well. So let's do that. Should be pretty much the same as the other side. So looks like, oh, there we go. So there should be a little plastic thing right there. one of those that you push in, and it should just come right out. There it goes. There we go. That's it. There's another one in here. And should be it for this mid frame. Take off the bottom one now. There's one in the front. The one that hooks up in the middle we already took off from the other side. There's one down here. And let's see, what else? Oh, it looks like there's one of these plastic things on the inside, so that one's gonna be harder to get to. Looks like that one is instead of a push-in, you're gonna need a Phillips screw head, and it should be easier to do it from this side. Okay, so I just got that one off. It's right below the radiator, and like you can see, it's a Phillips screw head. And it looks like there's at least one more of those plastic pushing things. So there's two up here. Maybe I can take those out. And there it goes. Okay, so I just took those two off from the top, and on this side I can just take off your turn signal, and you can take this whole thing off. Now it looks like just need to get this one off. This one up here is a lot bigger than the others. This one over here. This one here. Let's see if I can get to it from here. Let's see what else. And there's one in here. There's one more down here. Okay, so I just figured it out. So after I took this tool off up here, this thing just pops out. This little hook. So take that off. And then now that this is being held by these cables, that just, if you pull on this thing up top, just comes off. It's kind of a little thing that just comes in and out. So there's a release right there. So now you can see everything, your radiator, your reservoir, and as you can see, there's nothing in mine. Okay, cut. Okay, so now that we got the fairings off, I'm gonna do the coolant. I'm gonna take the cap off first. I'll take this off. Probably gonna have to fill it up later. Then we're gonna go down here. Then this is the one you want to take off for the coolant. You're gonna need a 8mm. I just loosened that a little bit. It's already draining really fast. There it goes. So I'm gonna let that drain until it's done, and after that I'm gonna take this clamp off and see if there's anything left in there. Okay, so I just put the plug back in. I decided not to take off this hose since I'm gonna fill it up with distilled water anyways. It should flush everything out. So I'm gonna fill it up with this, and I'll let you know how much I used in a minute. I'm gonna run it, close everything up, run it, then drain it back out. Then again, I'm gonna use this engine ice that's supposed to make your engine run cooler. Alright. Okay, so I just filled it up with distilled water. It took about half a gallon to fill it up. Put the cap back on. Now I'm gonna run the bike with that for, I don't know, a minute. Then I'm gonna drain it back out and put the coolant back in. Okay. So now that the drain plug's back in, I'm gonna fill it up with this engine ice stuff. Once the radiator's full, I will put the rest in the reservoir till the full line. Okay, so I just filled up the radiator. It's all the way up, and as you can see, the reservoir is all the way to the full line, and the half a gallon of engine ice was plenty. So now, since the frames are off, I went ahead and put the frame sliders on. Just gotta tighten those up, and then we'll put the frames back on. And if you have any questions, just write on the comments below. Alright, thanks.